Thought I'd do a quick video on the folded in tube that I learned from WBW40 in England. I put it on the last version of the Axon that I built. It uses, in this case, a 3-inch wide inner strip. Then both sides come up 1 inch. They come across to what normally would be the end join for a foam board tube. But then they actually fold down and join on the center line of the 3-inch area. Now, that's probably as clear as mud, but I'll try and demonstrate what I mean in just a second. The dotted line down the center is ultimately going to be where the two downward tabs meet in the center. So I'm going to take and strip the 1/2 inch, as usual, strips that are going to be required for the bends, for the corners, and we'll see how this works. I am using 3 inches coming up 1 inch, 1 1.25 inches, and 1.25 inches. Now I know that only adds to 2.5, but you've got to remember there is the folding down in the middle. And 7/8 isn't the same as the 1 inch up, but then you do have the glue in the way and one layer of foam board. So just give me a second to strip these off and we'll have a look at it. Now I have sort of started the bends, all 6 of them, not just 4 as there would be in a normal square or rectangular tube. And in retrospect, maybe the 7/8 could also be closer to 1 inch. Probably the glue isn't going to take up a full 1/8 of an inch, but there's the 7/8, the 1/4, the 1, the 3 with a center line marked, and the same again on the other side. Now I'm going to take and lay a fairly generous bead of glue down the midline on what will, in my case, become the top of the 3-inch fuselage tube, and I will then fold the outside tabs down. Now, as you can see, I have laid that bead down the 3-inch bottom, or what will become the top, I suppose, of the fuselage tube, and I have folded the 2 edges in into a fairly generous bed of hot glue. The weight doesn't seem to add up too appreciably. And now I simply have to lay a bead along here, close this gap, and I should end up with a nice rigid tube. Well, there you go. Not the best gluing job I've done, but that's not a big problem, or no piggy, Papa, as my grandson would say. He seems to believe that no piggy and no biggie are pretty much the same thing. The tube could be 1 inch in the center. It is actually a little straighter than it looks. I seem to be getting a kind of a parallax look from the camera here. But if you work with the measurements and work carefully, you should get a pretty straight, pretty true tube. The next time I make a real one, I'm going to use 1 inch instead of 7/8 on the outside. And of course, when I bend these little tubes on the longer sections, I do use a board instead of the edge of a table, and I get a little straighter bends. But you get the idea. You've got a lot less side area to be catching the wind. The strength is several times again, I would think, stronger than a straight tube, and it's far more rigid, sort of vertically and horizontally. Been very happy with those WBW40. That turned out to be a great hint. Anyways, thought I'd show you guys how I'm making those.